They'll send, they'll do a record. That's what
Good evening, everyone. May I have your attention, please? I'd like to welcome everyone to the meeting of the Borough Council of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone. Tonight is May 27th, 2025. It is now 7:01 p.m. and I'd like to please call this meeting to order. Nancy, will you please read the sunshine notice?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the 2025 meeting dates was published in the Courier News and Burnsville News on December 26, 2024, and posted at the Municipal Complex. Action may be taken.
As I'm doing now, please ask everyone to silence their cell phones in respect to this meeting, and then please stand to join me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Nancy, a roll call, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Here.
Councilman Portello?
Here.
Councilwoman Sueda? Here. Council President Sweeney?
Here.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Here.
Mayor Groniano?
Here. Let the record also show that, of course, Nancy, you're here, Steve Warner's here, and Stephanie Sewell's here. All right, we'll start the meeting with public comments on non-agenda items. These are items that are not on our agenda. Anybody who wishes to speak to the council on the non-agenda item, 3 minutes per person, please. Before I say this, let me just say we have a ceremony this evening. We have police service awards, and we have a very nice reception prepared for to celebrate that afterwards. So if you're here for a non-agenda and you're planning to leave, please consider staying and enjoying the festivities afterwards. So non-agenda items, anyone here for that? Seeing none, I'll close non-agenda. And I'll move on to new businesses. We have nothing on the agenda for new businesses. Any council member have a new business item that we don't have listed? No. Great. Seeing none, we will move on to miscellaneous items. And we have a discussion regarding the ordinance for maintenance of right-of-way, specifically trees and brush. You want to take this one?
Sure. So this is a prospectively new ordinance to change how we deal with trees and shrubbery in the right of way. So on trees and shrubbery on the property, owned by a resident, that's within a certain distance from the center of the road. Historically, the borough has helped take care of some of those trees and shrubbery, trim them to, so there's a good sight line for traffic and so forth. Or if there's damage to them, they're removed at the borough's expense. And due to a number of factors, a lot doing with some of the diseases that are going on with a lot of our local trees, it's become a real burden for the borough. So this ordinance would put that maintenance back in the responsibility of the homeowner, which is not atypical in most towns. That's basically what it is. It's fairly simple wording. It's exactly what you'd expect. The trees and shrubs on your property, you have to take care of your property. Also mentioned just like general maintenance of not allowing any hazardous materials, those types of things on your property. Just putting that burden back into the residents' responsibility. The ordinance elaborates on what would happen if you did not comply, and the borough then would have to come in, do the maintenance for you, and then you would get billed for that, for any maintenance. And if you didn't pay that bill, it goes into the subsequent of how that would be handled. So that's what that is. Any other questions from council?
I just had one thought when I was reviewing it. Even though in the agenda it says for maintenance of trees in the right of way, one of the things that's always been an issue in this town is snow removal, and I want to make sure that when it says keep the right of way free of garbage, trash, and other debris, that won't be used to be construed as clearing snow, because we've never had a snow removal ordinance for sidewalks. Further, that it doesn't require maintenance. It's not a sidewalk maintenance ordinance either.
Yeah, so it's not meant to be, and
No.
that language is not supposed to incorporate that.
I know that, I just want to make sure that we're clear on
I
that.
think it might be wise to add in a clarification regarding, storm-related.
Well,
We
Really,
have
just, I would
snow
just say
ordinance.
snow, because I wouldn't even say storm debris, because
Yeah,
if a tree
yeah.
Yeah,
fell.
the trees will be the
Well,
storm
that's
related.
true.
Right, so I'd just keep it at snow.
We
Snow or
we
ice.
can clarify, one additional thing is we may, with respect to the notice, if the zoning officer determines that there's a violation, to provide proper notice and opportunity to cure to the resident, rather than the writing being regular mail or personal delivery, we may want to make that certified mail or personal delivery, so there's
So there's a
proof
record.
of.
Well, first
Notice.
notice, I wouldn't do that. Second
Not
notice,
certain.
yes. No, let's keep it informal for first notice. There's no need to.
You know what though, Mark, if the 14 days expires, if that's going to result in the issuance of the violation, we probably should have proof.
Yeah.
That the notice was sent.
You don't think a law would be sufficient of a call? The reason I say that is because I know what effort it takes for our staff to have to send something certified. It's a pain. They have to go to the post office and fill out card and forms and all that. It's not easy to do.
Okay.
Am I correct, Nancy?
We do it though.
I know.
And we keep everything here in the
But our
office,
zoning
so,
office is part-time.
Right.
Okay,
so,
It's
and I'd rather our zoning officer be able to make a call and get hopefully some action quickly. So either we extend the 14 days or find some other way around it. It's a good point, and I do believe there should be a record. But I wouldn't mind seeing first notice, keep it simple. Hey, this is down, would you mind cleaning it up? Most of the time you'll get a permit from the homeowner. If they don't comply, then we document it in a letter.
I'd like to add something too. When I think of right of way and I think of trees, I think of JCP&L and taking down trees by power lines. Should we clarify any further about that? Or is that just,
Well, I guess this doesn't negate or change their responsibility.
okay?
It just puts the responsibility that JCP&L doesn't do into the responsibility of the homeowner. So I don't think we need that verbiage. I mean, I get your point,
Yeah,
but I don't think this is really going to affect it.
okay.
it might,
And Jamie, what I would also say is the aspect of it that has to deal with site distance,
Mhm.
that really is long overdue. We've got a
Right.
number of locations in town. where
Right, and we
people
have,
got site-
and we have
site
residents
problems.
right now who know that they have a sight line and take care of their shrubbery on a regular basis because the zoning officer has asked them to. But this just puts it in an ordinance.
And this ordinance is typical of neighboring towns.
Right. This is,
very typical.
right.
Okay, anyone else have feedback for us before this goes to a first reading?
Well,
Okay. Our councilors in your hands?
Got it.
We'll have it on.
We'll have it on
Thank
the
you.
next meeting, yeah.
Okay, very good. We're done with that, everyone? Good? Okay, let's move on to minutes. I'll ask for a consent vote on both the executive session minutes of May 6th and the regular meeting minutes of May 6th.
Mayor, I just had one note, Mike, I apologize for not getting to Nancy earlier, but on the executive, under affordable housing, the last sentence in that first paragraph, it says 80% marketable units. It should be 80% market rate units. Bit of a technicality, but it has a meaning. Apologize for the interruption. That's the only thing I caught.
Not at all. Okay, first and a second, please.
Someone,
Jill and Eric. Roll call vote.
Oh,
Joe cannot,
I
it was Julie.
I'm sorry, who was it?
Julie.
Julie, I'm sorry, Julie and Eric. Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marble?
Abstain.
All right, very good. We have two public hearings tonight for ordinances. The first one is ordinance 1155-2025, an ordinance amending chapter 2, section 31, subsection 17 of the general ordinances of the borough, that are lawfully be assigned to police officers to permit the police department to enter into a service agreement with a third-party entity to outsource the administration and management of lawfully be assignment of police officers. I have a motion and second to open the public hearing for this ordinance.
Second.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marble.
Aye.
Would anyone from the audience like to speak on this ordinance? Seeing none, I have a roll call vote to close the public hearing. First and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Jamie and Jill, roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marble.
Aye.
I now have a motion and second to adopt
Motion
ordinance.
to adopt.
John
Second.
and Julie. Roll call vote, please, again, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marble.
Aye.
Ordinance 1155-2025 is adopted and should be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. Moving on to 1156-2025, an ordinance disbanding the Library Advisory Committee and repealing Chapter 2, Section 47 of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Peapack And Gladstone. May I have a motion and second to open the public hearing for this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
And Jamie and Eric, and a roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marble.
Aye.
Would anyone in the audience wish to comment on this ordinance? Seeing none?
I move
Seeing
to
none?
close the hearing.
Okay, thank you, John.
Second.
John and Jill. Roll call vote, please, Nancy, to close.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marble.
Aye.
And now may I have a motion and second to adopt?
So moved. Second.
John and Eric. Roll call vote, please, Nancy, again.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marble.
Aye.
Very good. Ordinance 1156-2025 is adopted and shall be published by title only in the Burnsville News in accordance with the law. Moving on to resolutions, I propose that we do a consent vote for our resolutions. I'd ask that the council members to please take a look at the list of resolutions excluding bill pay and see if there's any that you'd like to pull for a separate vote. I am proposing that we pull logically 103-25, which is certification of the annual order, which we should vote on separately.
And do that first, because the corrective action has to come after, so do that as.
Got it. Perfect. So just take a minute and tell me if there's any of the other resolutions that you'd like to pull.
You know what? 102-25. Okay.
Pull it?
Yeah.
Got
Say
it.
102, John? Yeah.
Okay.
This is here.
Any
Let's do 103. Let's do 103 first up.
All right. So let's start with, I'll go in order. 102-2025. The 102-25, a resolution approving tuition reimbursement for police officer Adam Cruz on the amount of $5,000. May I have a motion and second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Just want to add one
John,
comment.
John.
Adam, this gets you your degree, correct?
Almost.
Almost home? Been a hard-working officer going to school online, getting his college degree.
And in person as well, he's been there as well. Well done, Adam. Thank you. Any further discussion on that? Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yeah.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Council President Sweeney.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marble.
Aye.
You should have all paused like Jamie.
Their moves.
Now, let's move on to 103-2025. This is a resolution for the governing body certification of the annual audit. A motion is second, and I'll make a comment. I want the council members to be fully aware of what they're voting for.
So moved.
Eric and Jamie, before we vote on this, just be aware, what you are doing is you are actually approving the audit, the certified audit. Okay, you are approving the acceptance, I'm sorry, wait.
You're approving that, you're stating that you viewed the correction.
Okay, but
Yeah,
you
the
are also
recommendation.
signing a statement saying that. And if you are not signing it in good faith, it is a misdemeanor and a fine. So you will all be asked to sign a statement at the end of the meeting. They take it very seriously. Okay. Motion second, roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel?
Aye.
Very good. Now, may I have a motion and second for a consent vote on resolution 100-25 through 101-25 and 104-25 through 110-25.
So moved.
Second.
Eric and John, any discussion on this? Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel?
Aye.
Okay, those resolutions pass. I'm gonna make a comment after them, post them. There is a resolution on here regarding, the 250th anniversary of the United States and our supporting as a county initiative to do that. You're gonna be heading up that, initiative. Julie.
Yeah.
The reason that resolution was on here, which I should have told you beforehand, was the commissioners called me and asked me to put that on. All the towns in Somerset County are participating. Moving on to bills list, approval of bills list. Nancy, would you, actually, let's start with council. Does any item need to be pulled for discussion by council members? On the bill list?
No.
Nancy, would you please read the total amount of bills to be taken?
$323,748.87.
Okay. May I have a motion second to approve the resolution for the payment of bills?
So moved. Second.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Council President Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel?
Aye.
Let's move on to council reports. I'm not going to read the list. I'll just ask any council member if they have a report for the respective department.
No report.
Okay. I have a couple very quick things from Mayor. I want to just let everyone know that about 3 weeks ago, this coming Thursday, officially it took about 3 years to do. The state of New Jersey Department of Transportation took over ownership of the Route 206 bridge. Whether you knew it existed or not, there is a very large structure on Route 206 that carries Route 206 over an access roadway at the site of the former Pfizer complex. And we did not want to see that bridge going into the ownership of homeowners associations. We were worried about its care in the future. It was a private bridge, the only private bridge that carried the state roadway left in the state of New Jersey. There were others in the past. Through negotiations, and the one developer in particular advocated for it, and us advocating for it. Actually, I had the Commissioner of Transportation come up. He had met with him personally. We went and saw the bridge, and they approved it. They now own that bridge, no longer owned by the developers of the two developments on their side. That's the first thing. I'm just going to mention a couple things that we put out there, but you should be aware of. The Pottersville Road Bridge replacement is delayed. There was an issue with some ownership of land on what a portion of the bridge sits on. We don't know when it's going to start. It could be quick. It's likely not going to be. It may take time for the county to resolve the ownership of a very small piece of land on which an abutment or a retaining wall of the bridge sits. So that project is on hold. We had a very nice Memorial Day ceremony yesterday with 80 people. I just wanted to acknowledge the fire company in particular. We made a very nice effort, and Kinsey Hill spoke very well as our guest speaker. And lastly, since everybody's been asking and you all deserve an answer on it, the library improvements are delayed. As you all know, it is unacceptable to us. I am sorry about it. Between dealing with an insurance company, a delay in materials to repair the fire damage on the roof, and a few other unexcusable excuses, it is back on track. The roof work is scheduled to be done next week. The contractor needs approximately 3 weeks after that to finish the work inside the library, at which point we will get a CO on it, so to speak, and turn it over to the county library to set up. We are hoping the county library can get it set up in a month to a month and a half. We hope. That is all I have for my mayor's report. I have no executive summary items over that. Steve, you're updating the ordinance.
In the right way.
Okay. I'm now going to turn the meeting over to our chief of police, but before I do,
Do you want to do public comments first?
want to go first?
Yeah, we should do
Okay,
that.
fine. All right, let's do public comments first. So public comments on the meeting. These are comments on agenda items. Would anyone like to speak to the council regarding any item that was on the agenda this evening? Please come to the microphone. Seeing none, I'll close that. We'll now move on to the presentation of awards. Before I do, I did not acknowledge someone who is in the room who is related to these awards. I remember the last time we did them. This gentleman, in fact, is the one who did them. Former Police Chief Greg Skinner is with us, and I think he's also our former, my predecessor mayor. So he's here to be with us this evening. That being said, I'm now going to turn the meeting over to Chief Stephen Ferranti to make the comments.
Yeah, come, guys, you all come up front. Yep. All the way, come on, all the way up. Don't hide in the back. Come on, this is your moment.
Chief, would you like to come up here and use this microphone?
That's right. As long as you're good with me here, I'm okay. Mayor, council, fellow officers, everyone in attendance tonight, thanks for being here and allowing us the opportunity to commend our officers for their outstanding efforts over the past few years. Our awards program is started to recognize officers and civilians for their performance above and beyond their normal duty responsibility. It's been some time before we've been here, as you stated. Chief Skinner, who retired a few years back, was the last one to present these awards. When I started to go back through the years for looking at incidents to compile it, we could determine which outstanding efforts determined to be recognized here tonight. I asked each officer to provide me with some incident or incidents that they've been involved with through the years. And to my shock, nobody responded. And what I come to realize is that every one of these people standing here in front of you, myself, retired Chief Skinner, anybody who's ever put on this uniform and a badge, will tell you that no matter what they do, that's what they do for a living, that's their job, and they don't feel they deserve to be recognized. We put this awards program in place so we can recognize them, because I think, and Chief Skinner can probably tell you as well, that there are incidents that deserve recognition, because we have people that went above and beyond at certain times, and they showed how much they can raise their game and get to a level that saved people's lives countless times. And the reason we're here tonight is to bring that to light to everybody, because we don't often get a chance to do this. And we are going to hopefully in the future continue to do this possibly on a yearly basis, so that we don't take too much time. So tonight, as I read out each officer's commendations that they'll be getting, just understand that these incidents went above and beyond your standard alarm call or first aid call for minor injury. So as I call each officer, just step forward. So I know everyone probably knows everyone, but just so we can recognize you. And the awards and certificates will be given out to the officers at a later date. And we'll be sharing a summary of each event with you in case anyone wants to see the actual event. But it would have been too long to stand and read each event, so we'll just go down the list and we'll read off what each officer will be receiving. Sergeant Thomas Scanlon. Tom will be receiving an Honorable Service Award, 4 Exceptional Service Awards, 2 Chiefs Achievement Awards, an Educational Achievement Award, EMT Award, 3 Unit Citation Awards, a Good Conduct Award, and 2 Life Saving Awards. Corporal Owen Duff is not here tonight. Corporal Duff is receiving a Meritorious Service Award, an Educational Achievement Award, 3 Unit Citation Awards, Chiefs Achievement Award, and a Good Conduct Award. Corporal Paul Morris also could not be here tonight. He's receiving a Good Conduct Award, 3 Meritorious Service Awards, and a Unit Citation Award. Detective Adam Caruso. Adam's receiving 3 Life Saving Awards, a Good Conduct Award, an EMT Award, an Exceptional Service Award, an Honorable Service Award, Educational Achievement, and a Unit Citation Award. Detective Nick Ortiz. Detective Ortiz is receiving a Life Saving Award, an Educational Achievement Award, Unit Citation Award, and I want to bring something to light. Detective Ortiz, on May 8th of 2024, responded to a call for service on South Street in Gladstone. Caller advised dispatch that there was a male on location with a bad cut on his arm due to a landscaping incident. Detective Ortiz arrived on location to find a 33-year-old male on the ground with severe laceration to his forearm and experiencing significant blood loss. Detective Ortiz applied a tourniquet above the wound to stop the bleeding. Shortly after the Peapack Gladstone First Aid Squad arrived, Detective Ortiz assisted in packaging the wound and getting the patient to the ambulance. Due to Detective Ortiz's response, quick thinking, that victim would survive this incident and has use of his arm today. He's being honored by Congressman Kane's office. He was the officer recognized as being outstanding for the week of May 19th. And thank you, Nick, for Officer Luke Tamborella. He's receiving a Chiefs Achievement Award, an Educational Achievement Award, a Good Conduct Award, and a Unit Citation. Officer Nicole Kanashigi is receiving an Honorable Service Award, an Educational Achievement Award. Officer Gino Schifano will be receiving a Life Saving Award and a Unit Citation Award. Special Officer Brian Bobwitz, he is receiving an Educational Achievement Award and a Life Saving Award. Administrative Assistant Nancy Arbello is receiving Chiefs Achievement Award tonight. She's not here with us, but I just wanted to point out that Nancy is receiving this award for the past 15 years. She's continually gone above and beyond to assist not only our officers, but officers from other towns, residents and non-residents, with just about anything they need. She goes out of her way to help everybody that comes through that door. So we appreciate her efforts and we want to thank her. We'd also like to honor retired Chief Skinner. He, prior to leaving, did not receive these awards, but while we were receiving these awards, you're receiving the Somerset County 200 Club Valor Award, Chiefs Achievement Award, the Honorable Service Award, Educational Achievement Award, Unit Citations, 2, an EMT Award, a Life Saving Award, and a Good Conduct Award. The last thing I would like to read tonight is, we also give firearms awards for our officers. I can tell you this, the firearms proficiency has really stepped up. So we're doing very well in that phase of our careers here. So just so you're aware, the way we find and determine what these numbers are, anyone who shoots with 3 consecutive qualifications, as per the New Jersey Attorney General's Office, 60-round qualification course with their duty weapon, we average those 3 scores together and divide by 3, and then the averages give us what they're categorized as. So currently, distinguished experts, which are the highest rank given, receiving those awards will be Sergeant Thomas Scanlon, Corporal Owen Duff, Corporal Paul Morris, Detective Adam Caruso, Officer Luke Tamborello, and Officer Gino Schifano. Receiving the Sharpshooter Awards, Detective Nicholas Ortiz, Officer Nicole Kanashigi, and Special Officer Brian Bobowitz. And that's all the awards we have currently. Again, you'll hopefully see us again in about a year, so we can do this all over again. And we'll definitely be stepping up and coming back up for more awards at that point. So we appreciate everything. Thank you all for doing your jobs and doing an outstanding job at that. Mayor, Council, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. I really appreciate the fact that we can honor these officers tonight.
Well done, gentlemen. Well done, Chief. Ladies and gentlemen. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Chief. Okay, so we're going to just wrap up the meeting, and then we have a very nice reception afterwards. Thank you, Julie, for managing that and Stephanie. We did public comments. Any further business from the council members?
No.
Seeing none, a motion and second to adjourn, please.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Our next meeting is
Is that virtual? We might get the greatest score. Not, we all just